Hi, I'm Matt.
And I'm Tom.
And this is A Park Bench.
And we've been getting occasional questions about the economics of YouTube and money, which is always a difficult topic to talk about if you're British.
Yeah, very reserved.
Yes, very reserved. Oh, you don't talk about that.
People don't talk about their wages with each other generally. It's not...
And it's difficult to do that with YouTube anyway, because while we can kind of talk about money specifically, often it's all locked down in contracts and locked down
A lot of sponsorships, they'll have
Yeah.
clauses saying you can't say how much.
But there's a few things that mean we probably should talk about it. First of all, I just filmed my first sponsored videos for my own channel. That has happened. They'll be going up January or February. And also there was a wonderful article out, which I will link to in the description.
Okay.
Which was about the economics of YouTube and someone saying, a channel whose name I forget, it's run by two women, they're saying we have 500,000 subscribers, we put out videos regularly, and yet we still have to get other jobs to pay the bills. How is this sustainable? How is this possible? How is this an industry that can work? And the answer is it doesn't. It doesn't. So I'm full-time YouTube now. That is actually, I mean, I've got other Sidelines as well, which is what is also paying the rent sometimes. But I'm just about breaking even on this if you ignore the occasional travel expense to go off to Finland and things like that, which is why I have the other gigs as well. But if you're talking about productions, I mean, I'm not paying you. I mean, the park bench, well, if we get anything from this, it'll be split between us.
Yeah.
But essentially, you know, we're friends. You're helping me out because you enjoy doing it. I mean, I'm assuming this is why you're doing it.
Yeah, I like making video stuff.
Yeah.
And you get me into weird places to do it. And that's enough for me.
Yeah.
I already have a job in media. This isn't a job, this is fun, This is hobby.
And this is true with Paul, who I went off to Chernobyl with. He works at BuzzFeed, so that's his actual job. And when we go off and film in Chernobyl or something like that, he'll go, yeah, of course, can hold a camera for a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to rely on that goodwill, because video's really expensive to make.
Yeah.
I worked in a TV show for a while, and just looking through the budget, well, I never saw the budget for that, but you work out they were putting 7 crew members up in a hotel every night, renting a big studio, paying for all the equipment.
Yeah.
Massive. Other things I should link, Charlie Brooker's piece from Screenwipe a long, long time ago on the money that goes into making television.
Yes, I think I vaguely remember that.
Yeah. Because compared to that, YouTube runs a lot faster and a lot cheaper, but I have to do my own editing most of the time, or I have to give a bit of money to someone who's giving me mates rates.
But people don't realise, okay, people will earn money from adverts on videos and stuff, but it doesn't get paid for the time like that a professional editor would charge.
Which is, you know, a full-on professional editor will charge, what, $500 a day, something like that? If you're going at professional rates, that's a mid-market rate, could be a lot bigger, could be a lot less, but if you've got that. Video effects, graphics, the intro and outro, you have to learn all of those.
And time here, like, okay, these are a few 12-minute, 20-minute videos, but it takes longer. We have to set up, we have to get here, we have to get back, we have to plan it.
Yeah, which in your case fits around full-time job, shift work. But it is a massively expensive thing to do in either time or money or both. And this is my theory, which I would like to run past you, and I have not yet run past him, is that it's a bit like being in a band. Have you ever been in a band? I feel like you may have at some point been in a band.
No.
Okay.
It's bringing up memories, but no, I haven't actually been in a band. I had 2 rehearsals. They were so bad that the only copy I have of it is at double speed because it was hilarious.
What, did you fire them or did they fire you? Or is this just not something I
It was just people from school.
Right.
I think the track was called Daddy, I'm Confused.
Oh dear.
That was the only lyric, and the rest of it was 3 people that didn't really know how to play their instruments very well, jamming.
Okay. Say you wanted to start that band and go full-time.
Yeah,
You want to make that any band full-time. That takes a hell of a lot of effort.
Because you're your own manager, your own publicity, your own
you have to learn to do everything,
Yeah.
or you have to pay someone for it. And there aren't that many full-time bands in the UK. Until you get to the point. So you saw public service broadcasting.
Yeah.
What were they like, by the way?
They were amazing. It started off as one guy with a computer doing
Yeah.
samples, and then him and a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
And the live show had 27 performers on stage at one point.
This was Brixton.
Yes,
You've
Brixton
seen
Academy.
them twice.
I saw them in Wakefield a couple of years ago in a back room of a pub. It was two of them and a crowd of 50.
Yeah, I didn't go to that gig. I got an invite to that gig from you and Chris, and I wish I'd gone to that gig.
It was amazing.
Because it was before they went. I could have actually done a hipster band got music before they were popular.
It was 2 weeks before their album came out. It was amazing. And then, Brixton in comparison, 27, like they had a full choir, they had extra couple of band members, they had a full string section, dancers, live announcer.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen the
They had a Sputnik.
The video of them playing Go the official one is made up on YouTube.
Yes,
now.
I saw it,
Yes. God, it looks good.
Yeah.
They got there in 2 years, presumably. I'm guessing when you saw them above a pub in Wakefield, they both had other jobs or something close to it because the album hadn't come out. I don't know.
I don't know them. I would guess that they might have stopped. They'd gone into that full time because
or like when
you
when I started doing YouTube full time, I had just done 18 months working for the Daily Mirror of all places, building web toys for a site that's now closed down. But that was 18 months of full time work that meant I had enough savings built up to take a risk on this. Until they get to Brixton level, that's not a career.
No,
that's a sideline. There are so many bands touring the UK and doing show after show after show and then going back to bar work.
Yeah.
Which again, I will point to an article because I've read this as well, which is kind of what YouTube is like. Unless you've got to the level that fortunately I'm at. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much, everyone. Unless you've got to that level, it's not a self-sustaining thing.
And it's got the other parallel with music because when we were young, everyone wanted to be in a band.
Yeah.
And if people that wanted to be famous wanted to be in a band or be a singer.
Yes.
Hence X Factor.
Yep.
Now, you see, look at the younger generation, they are all vlogging.
Yeah. I'm Tim, again, we mentioned him before. Me and him have a music blog at some point. Which is out there, and I will link, and which most people don't know about because
it's niche.
20 readers a day, but it keeps me and Tim in touch. And we've been coming up against bands who have massive followings online and haven't signed to a record label yet, which is a completely new thing. It's this alternate path for bands to take that is not go out, gig, get noticed by some A&R man from some label and sign for them. And they're going that way. It's like, they're the 10th most viewed band on YouTube because they've got fans there and they're not actually releasing singles. And it's this alternate path that people are taking. Where did I start this ramble? Alternate path to fame, vlogging.
Vlogging, yeah.
And unfortunately, putting full-time work into something doesn't mean you necessarily get a full-time job out of it.
Doesn't mean you get paid for it by the end of it. But bands would have to ditch their job and put their effort into it, into a load of gigs that won't necessarily pay them the money, so then they get noticed and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. Which is kind of, I mean, now you have Patreon, which is meant to be the equivalent of going to those gigs and charging for entry, which several people have said I should set up. I said this right in the first video, that I should talk. It's really awkward to talk about, isn't it? Because it's money from...
If it was me, I'd find it a bit awkward because...
Yeah. I don't want to have that obligation. I realise that I kind of have anyway because, people set up, but if it was Patreon, if it was people subscribing for videos about one thing, Citation Needed would have never happened on this channel.
Yeah.
On the other channel, rather. It would have been set up somewhere else. And most of the people who now watch it and like it, which I'll admit is probably a minority of the subscribers. Yes. Gary said this the other day. Oh, you weren't there. You didn't make it up to the Panto in York, did you?
No.
Oh, yes, you did.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh, right, that's got that out of the joke. That joke out of the way. I went up to see Chris and Gary in York just before Christmas, and we are walking through the tunnel by the National... wonderful Panto this year, by the way. It's at the National Railway Museum stage.
Oh, really?
So the Panto in York has had the same... Pantomime is not going to be understood by Americans. They're going to think pantomime is that kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yep. Doesn't exist outside the UK.
Oh, okay. Quick description of pantomime.
Yep.
Slapstick.
Yep.
For kids, but also for adults.
Yeah.
It's full of innuendo.
Yep.
The one I've only ever seen the York one, the Beric Kaler's one, who's renowned around the northeast for his way of doing it.
It's always kind of a traditional fairy tale with a load of modern, relevant jokes chucked in there. Ridiculous costumes. The dame, the lead character, is a man dressed as a woman.
Yeah.
The principal boy is generally played by a girl. There are a number of jokes, such as, I can't see the villain. Where?
It's behind you.
Is he? Villain walks around.
around
It's all call and response. It's all tradition that's built up over literally 100 years.
Yeah.
And the one in York has had the same person writing it and playing the dame for about 30 years now. So it's just in jokes. There's not really a plot. But it was good because it was the first pantomime ever to be held on what's called a traverse stage, which is where you have bank of audience seating, stage down the middle. Because the theatre there is closed down and they were holding it in the place where they had the railway children.
So they've done it Elton John style.
I don't know what that means.
He plays it in the round.
I was going to say, I had a joke. I don't know. No, that one's George Michael. No, that one's Boy George. No, all I've got is round glasses and playing a piano. That's all I've got.
He plays in the round generally, I think.
Okay, it's not technically in the round.
Yeah,
It's too long
two
ranks of
ends,
seating. But they were pulling in stage on the railway track that runs down the middle of the theatre. So they were moving back and forth and sliding and whole choreographed set pieces that involve walking onto a moving stage and off the other end with a big pit on both sides because the track's still there. Huh. Absolutely astonishing. Anyway, went up to see that with Chris and Gary.
Tangents!
And we are walking through the tunnel next to the National Railway Museum, and someone walks past and says, "Oh my God, it's you!" And the three of us go round, go, "Oh, I love your videos." And thank you. Hello, if that was you, because I think she left a comment recently. And I said, thank you. Oh, I love you, especially the linguistics ones. And Chris and Gary go, "Oh." Which is not her fault. That's like, I can't expect everyone to watch every video on the channel, let alone recognise people that haven't been in a new series in January, by the way. But it is that thing that Gary went, yeah, that's the perils of minor internet celebrity there. Citation needed is back in January, assuming I finished the edit. It's getting close.
But that's the thing, like, if you were to have a Patreon, would you feel like you were
like
sort of locked in? You would feel like you'd have to make what they wanted?
The new thing we're doing in January, which I'm being slightly cagey about in case it doesn't work and we have to bin the whole thing off, I wouldn't want to experiment with. Because the audience would be expecting a certain thing, and there was this thing of you changed it, therefore it sucks. And the first episode of Citation Needed, first series, got a whole load. Like some of it was gently like, okay, that first intro was a bit long, and yeah, we should have probably cut that. Like the feedback works, but at the same time, that would never have got made, or it would have been somewhere else. And 90% of the fans that it now has, because we do get messages saying when's it coming back, wouldn't even know it was there. And
if you've got people paying for it, you feel like you need to make a valid, valuable quality product.
Yes.
Whereas I'd say one of the best things about YouTube is you can put any old crappy idea you have on it and see whether it burns.
Yeah. Hence, a park bench. Might still kill listener.
It still seems to be going.
You ever seen The Princess Bride?
No, actually.
There is a line from it where Wesley is being apprenticed to someone and is telling the story. And he says, "Good night, Wesley." Every night the person, is better. "Good night, Wesley. I'll probably kill you in the morning." I feel like that's what we're doing with the park bench. Hope you've enjoyed the video. We'll probably kill it in the morning. However, I am doing sponsored videos. That has happened now. I got flown off to Norway. I filmed 3 for my channel, 3 for theirs. I'm not naming them yet in case the whole thing falls apart, because
Contracts.
They're wonderful. I can't actually mention who it is until we do the release, but I got to go off to Norway. I put some photos up from it on Instagram and things like that, and probably work it out from context, to be honest, but particularly given where I was. I got to film it's the best kind of production for me.
Yeah?
Yeah. Turn up and say words into that thing.
Ooh.
The words are on an auto cue by the thing. I didn't have to. They were a lovely crew. Everyone that was involved, that was absolutely lovely. We got to film in interesting places I can't talk about yet.
Yeah. Well, we can talk about it afterwards.
Yes. With one of those gimbaled Steadicam cameras, the Osmos.
The Osmo, yeah.
Yes. The video from last week around the tank that I did is on a DJI Osmo, and it's so nearly good. It's a lovely bit of kit and
I might I looked at that as soon as it came out and I thought, oh,
yeah, DJI
4K and proper gimbling. And then I thought, they haven't shown any footage of someone running with it because it doesn't do anything for that.
Yeah. Nice gesture. Nice. Let's move that over here. It doesn't do anything for this kind of movement. Translation just handles wobbling.
It's that kind of moment.
Yeah.
I need a what's the
Powerball thing. Yeah.
I know. I was meaning the
Contact juggling.
Contact juggling. Yes.
Anyway, it's so nearly good. Version 2 and version 3 will be worth the money, but version 1 is just not quite there. It also broke, so yeah. But but they were using it out with the crew in Norway, and God, some of the shots are going to look brilliant. But that is a sponsored video, and it's going to be great. It's something I'd want to make anyway for my channel, and it's something I think the audience will like. And I cannot mention money, but I've done some calculations, everything like that. Doing that one set of videos, so they will go out.
So apparently my camera can only record for half an hour at a time.
We should have really stopped and started it.
Between the two videos, that would have been a great idea.
As the sun sets behind us and we're increasingly lit by this one solid bright white light in front of us. Patreon.
Yes, we're talking about Patreon and other people paying.
I can't give away exact money amounts, so this is going to be. I did the maths. Patreon would take me somewhere between 4 and 12 months to earn what I made for those videos in a week of filming and 3 videos going up on my channel, which are kind of the thing I do anyway. So, yeah, that feels better to me than doing. And it's it is full on advert. They had final. It was a collaborative thing. They had final say of the script, so it is officially #ad on the tweets and things like that.
But they have their place.
They have their place. And were I the 16-year-old anti-advertising nut that I was a long time ago, then I wouldn't have done that. But it turns out everyone has their price, and that's about mine.
But I've been wondering what you lot think about it, actually.
Yeah,
do you understand the whole when people do the odd sponsored video? There are some channels that are all sponsored.
Yes, there are.
That is their job. You still enjoy watching it?
You know what we should have started? We should have started a gadget review channel, Matt, because they get sent enormous amounts of free stuff and sponsored things. Instead,
no one sent us anything
we're
yet.
on a park bench.
If you want to sponsor this, whatever.
But yeah, you're absolutely right. We should ask what they think.
Yeah.
And then probably ignore it. Sorry.
But seriously, if you let us know what you think about that kind of thing, it's not necessarily going to affect our opinion, but it's nice to know what the audience think.
There's no good way to say this, Matt. There's no good way to say that.
We absolutely appreciate all of your comments.
Yes.
Some of them,
we appreciate
great.
More than
Thank you.
There's a full-on side wind going on. I'm basically Donald Trumping it, which...
You're not being racist or despicable.
Or fighting against wind farms in Scotland.